Day, welcome back to the DeFranco show, and let's just jump into it. And the first thing we're going to talk about today, it was by far the most requested story. This might be the last time we talk about it. I'll mention why in a minute, but this is around the Mike Martin, aka Daddyoffive, YouTube potential child abuse scandal. Last week we put a big spotlight on the problem. We saw children in distress. Children being on the receiving end of aggression from both parents and from the older stepkids. And this story blew up and still continues to go. I saw even this morning Vice jumped in on the coverage. And there's been a massive update to what Mike Martin and his wife are saying publicly. And it's a big tone change. You might remember the first response after the outrage around the Ink video was this.
It's not fans, it's haters. There's people out there, right?
They're just jealous.
And that evolved into a kind of sort of apology where he also then blamed me for the situation.
I'm sorry if we hurt anybody. I'm sorry all this got so out of hand. It would have never got this out of hand if it wasn't for that DeFranco guy.
And then after that video got, I think it was around 1 million views. I don't know the exact number because it's now been removed. Mike and Heather released a new video called Daddyofive Founders Issue Public Apology. And they have a completely different tone. Let's walk through this. Let's start off at the beginning where they actually seem to take responsibility.
This has been the absolute worst week of our life, and we realized that we have made some terrible parenting decisions, and we just want to make things right.
Then Mike acknowledges that a lot of the videos should not have gone up.
I acknowledge and I respect how everyone feels about this, and I do agree that we put things on the internet that should not be there. We did things that we should not do.
And as a mother, over the last week, looking back at the videos and just thinking about things, if I didn't know the people and I saw some of those things, I would be thinking the same thing. I would be like, oh my God, those poor children.
Now, for those asking why my edit of that video was so weird, it wasn't my edit. They have several of these throughout the video. Instead of doing a hard cut, they drop the audio, they do a fade out, and then a fade back in. And they do this so many times near the end of the video where it makes you wonder what it was that they cut out. But we'll keep going. Then they say this about family counseling.
We are now in family counseling because we need it, not only to get through the media stuff, but we need it to come back together and have everybody, even the kids, to understand what we did wrong in all this.
And the response to that has been mixed. A lot of people saying, well, good, you need to be in counseling. While many others are saying they can't tell where lies and truth begin with this family. In interviews just after the outrage, they said that they were already in family counseling.
We actually have a family counselor. Cody does go to counseling, and we went to counseling as a family. Ironically, we have.
So when she says we're in family counseling now, does that mean that earlier mention was a lie? Or is she saying the same thing, but she worded it poorly?
We just want to give our kids back some type of normalcy. We just want them to be able to go back to school and just live their lives.
I just wanted to take care of everybody. I just wanted
we wanted them to be happy. We just wanted our kids to be happy, and we went about it the wrong way. We're focused on making sure that our kids don't have to deal with so much backlash from our bad decisions. And we realize now what kind of a situation we put them in. And we're just really sorry to them.
And that's where it ends. They cut their audio, they do a fade out, even though she's still talking. And so something I've said since the beginning, I want to believe them. I want to believe what they said before, that it was fake, that it was scripted, that Cody might be an actor in the future, because he must be. If this is fake, he is a child actor prodigy. I think as far as this apology, it would have been the perfect apology if they put this in place of the video where they blamed me. All the weird cuts and fade outs when they're still talking or when Mike's about to chime in, it makes me feel like maybe this isn't the most genuine apology. But my main goal through all of this was so that the kids have a better and safer future. It's one of the reasons I mentioned the allegations from the biological mother who has come forward because of all of this, and talked about that while stressing that these are allegations, and then also not promoting to her GoFundMe, because we don't know 100% if everything she is saying is true and that the kids would actually be in a better place with her. We don't know, and I hope that through this family, now it seems like they are being investigated by CPS, through that, with the parents acknowledging that what they were putting out and what they were doing was wrong and that they're not going to do it in the future, I hope these kids kids have a safer, better future. And that's why hopefully this is the last time we're gonna have to talk about this. The parents are saying they're not gonna do anything like this again. They acknowledge that they're wrong. It looks like the legal authorities that are supposed to look at this are now looking at this. And it kills me that there is some of the Daddyofive fan base that think literally my goal was to destroy a family. Your passion has either blinded you or you are just that stupid and I don't know what to do with you. That's where I'm gonna end that story. Of course, I do want to pass it off to you. Seeing this new apology, does it change your mind on this whole situation? Does it make you feel like they really get it now, or this is just damage control? I'd love to know your thoughts here. But from there, I want to share some stuff I love today, and today in Awesome brought to you by the Sports Shirt. A shirt that says, I don't understand the score, the rules, but thank you for inviting me, and our team is the best team, unless this is a game of individuals, in which case our person is the best person. It's a fact, everyone knows it, but I'm not gonna spend $150 on an official t-shirt. I gotta get a return long term with this t-shirt investment. So if you want to snag one while you can, we have a run of that shirt this week, link to that down below. And the first bit of awesome is I just want to welcome the around 100,000 of you who have subscribed and joined the family in the past week. Hello, thank you for signing on to this daily experiment that is the DeFranco Show. I always find this important to say after we get a new surge of new subscribers, and that is, you are going to disagree with me. But unlike most places you're going to consume news or consume opinion, it is okay here. I'm gonna give you the facts, the different points of views, the different arguments from all sides, and then I will give my opinion, and it is okay. It's okay to disagree. We all don't live in one of 2 or 3 boxes. My main goal is always to inform and then start a conversation of different opinions. And if you're not okay with that, you should probably just unsubscribe now, because otherwise I am going to eventually offend you. Then in awesome, if you were a fan of the movie Avatar, which was released in 2009. Has it really been that long? Wow. Well, the franchise updated their Facebook page and announced the release date of their next 4 movies. Yes, is probably what you would say if this had a 2017 or 2018 release date. The next one is not slated till December 18th, 2020. Then you get another one in 2021. Then you gotta wait 3 more years until 2024. And then just 1 more with 2025. And personally, I'm just fascinated to see how this movie is gonna do. I mean, a weird way to think of how long it's been since Avatar was released is in that time, Spider-Man will have been rebooted twice. But I am hopeful it's going to be good. I'm just interested to see how it's going to do at the box office, because if you remember, Avatar was one of the first movies to do that really high-end 3D. Then we got a new trailer for season 3 of Kimmy Schmidt. It is my favorite show that makes me happy, and then at random points throws you down into a pit of despair. So happy it's coming back. And if you want to see the full versions of everything, I just shared the secret link of the day. Anything at all. Links, as always, are in the description down below. Then let's talk about a fantastic story out of Oxford University. Actually, you know what? I need to introduce this story like I'm late night local news. Esteemed Oxford University says you may be racist and not even know it? Find out more tonight at 11. Yeah, one of the full headlines reads, students who avoid making eye contact could be guilty of racism, Oxford University says. Reportedly, the university's Equality and Diversity Unit has advised students that not speaking directly to people could be deemed a racial microaggression, which can lead to mental ill health. Other examples of everyday racism include asking someone where they are originally from. But the newsletter goes on to say, you're not the worst person in the world, saying some people who do these things may be entirely well-meaning and would be mortified to realize that they had caused offense. But this is of little consequence if a possible effect of their words or actions is to suggest to people that they may fulfill a negative stereotype or do not belong. And I have to say, with all due respect, that is the most ridiculous, snowflakey bullshit I have ever heard. As someone who grew up socially awkward to a painful degree, I need to educate you in that sometimes you just don't want to make eye contact because it feels weird. Also, I ask pretty much everyone, regardless of color, where are you from originally? I live in LA. So many people here came from somewhere else. And I really do have to agree with Dr. Joanna Williams from the University of Kent, who said that this guidance was completely ridiculous and will make students hypersensitive about how they interact with one another. Essentially, people are being accused of a thought crime. They are being accused of thinking incorrect thoughts based on an assumption of where they may or may not be looking. But also, this isn't shocking that this is happening at a university. You have universities banning language like right-hand man, gentleman's agreement, because it's gendered language and it's not inclusive. And I say this as someone, as long as you educate me on what pronoun you want me to use for you, I'll use it. Just getting more and more and has been ridiculous for a while now. People keep looking for problems where they don't exist. They go at people they find offending them. They alienate potential allies, and you make everyone walk on eggshells so that we're not able to really interact. We're not able to really bond because I'm worried that at some point someone's gonna get offended and my whole life is gonna get trashed. It's important to remember, just because you feel offended or you feel attacked, that doesn't mean you're actually the victim. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are right. In my opinion, this is silly, it's excessive, it hurts the argument from people that have rational complaints about not being included. They have rational, real complaints of racism, and when you say say things like, if you don't make eye contact, it could mean that you're racist. Come on. And then let's talk about more outrageous airlines news. Remember the good old days when we just hate an airline because they got caught throwing our luggage? They were such good times. The problem is, though, you never know you're living in the good times until after. But this is not another story about United Airlines. Oscar Munoz, just take a beat. You're in the clear today. None of your employees reaccommodated someone's face. Today, we talk about American Airlines. The video around this incident has blown up. It opens up and we see a mother holding her child crying.
You can't use violence with baby. Just give me back my stroller, please.
Then we hear in the background a man who said he's not just gonna sit there.
I'm not gonna sit here and watch this stuff in my class.
And so he gets out of his seat, he comes up and he says, I want the name of that employee. And what he's referencing is an incident that happened off camera, and it's the reason it seems the mother is crying. Well, according to an eyewitness, the mother said a female flight attendant said you can bring the stroller on the plane if there's space and it folds up small enough. If not, you're gonna need to check it at the gate. Now, for those of you who have never flown with a child, usually you have your stroller, you take it right to the outside of the plane, you have a little tag, they put it in the plane. I can remember maybe one instance when there wasn't a lot of people on a plane, and I think we put it in overhead. And even according to American Airlines website, small strollers can be checked at the gate, but there is no policy about strollers in the overhead bin. And so according to Olivia Morgan, who was one of the eyewitnesses, she was looking for space when the male attendant tried to take it away from her. And she said she told him the other attendant had told her it was okay to look. Morgan then said the flight attendant was violent when taking the metal stroller from the woman and nearly hit the baby with the stroller, adding, he stormed by me with the stroller and I said something like, what are you doing? You almost hit that baby. And he yelled at me to stay out of it, just like he does in the video. And it wasn't just that the stroller almost hit the child. Reportedly, the woman was hit with the stroller. Let's go back to the video. The man is now sat back down. The woman who was standing up for the mother saying that's not right has now boarded the plane. And then the flight attendant who allegedly grabbed the stroller violently gets on the plane. And that's when the man who was trying to find out who the employee was decides to speak up.
Hey, bud, you do that to me and I'll knock you flat.
You stay out of this. Come on, Tony.
You want to do right? You get the hell out of the plane. Get the hell out.
Come on.
You try that with a man, I'll knock you out, boy. I'll knock you silly.
Tony,
Yeah. Go with us where we're going.
Come on.
Tony, sit down.
You don't know what the story is.
We want to
I don't care what the story is. You almost hurt a baby. It was not an accident. You keep looking at me and it shows me it's what you did to that lady.
Keep it quiet.
Yeah, I can see exactly what you did. Maybe you'll get videotaped too and get all over the news.
Well, that is what happened. Now, is the man who stood up completely in the right? No. But I do get that. If I saw a flight attendant being an asshole who almost hit a baby and did hit a mother, I'm probably gonna lose it. As far as the employee, oh my God, he handled that situation horribly in my opinion. And in response to all of this, American Airlines has been extremely apologetic and doesn't seem to fully be standing with their employee. It's almost as if there were high-profile stories in the news recently that made them realize how they should or should not handle a situation. American Airlines issued a statement saying, we are deeply sorry for the pain we have caused this passenger and her family and to any customers affected by this incident. We are making sure all of her family's needs are being met while she is in our care. After electing to take another flight, we are taking special care of her and her family and are upgrading them to first class for the remainder of their international trip. The actions of our team member captured here do not appear to reflect patience or empathy, two values necessary for customer care. In short, we are deeply disappointed by these actions. The American team member has been removed from duty while we immediately investigate this incident. But while American Airlines doesn't seem to be defending that flight attendant, the president of the Flight Attendant Association does. Bob Ross, president of the Association of Professional Flight Attendants, said that the passenger may have threatened a flight attendant with violence, which is a violation of federal law and no small matter. All passengers deserve to be treated with respect. We also must assure that our flight attendants are treated respectfully and safely on board. Our dedicated flight attendants and Americans strive every day to make the passenger experience the best in the industry. However, this has become more challenging due to tight schedules, overcrowded planes, shrinking seats, and limited overhead bin space. There are really two stories here. And personally, my first response to this is, yes, let's of course get as much information as possible. But it's weird that Bob Ross mentions all the challenges and stressful situations as if that's a way to justify what happened. And I'm not a lawyer and I don't want to say outright, but I don't know if it's threatening if you say the equivalent of, hey buddy, if you hit me like you hit that lady with that stroller, I'm gonna knock you out. Because in my eyes, while yes, it is an aggressive statement, you could paraphrase it with, hey buddy, if you hit me like you hit that woman, I'm going to defend myself. And so I guess my full takeaway is American Airlines, while I don't like to personally fly you, your reaction here is fantastic. To Bob Ross, I get you're the president of the APFA, but fucking really? Several eyewitnesses say your flight attendant violently grabbed the stroller, hitting the mother, almost hitting a baby. And 2/3 of your response can be summed up with, it's a really stressful job. And that guy in first class who stood up for that woman was mean. Even the other female flight attendant acknowledged what happened. And to that I would say, it doesn't excuse what happened with this woman being hit. He was working with such disregard that he accidentally hit a mother holding her child. And to the flight attendant in involved, do you feel like a big man yet? Feel like a big, strong man taking out your frustrations on your passengers? You're just a garbage person to me and so many others. But hey, that's also where I'm ending up on this situation. I'd love to know your thoughts here. Whether you agree, you disagree, I'd love to know your thoughts here. And that's actually where I'm gonna end today's show. And remember, if you liked this video, you like what I do on this channel, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you missed and want to catch up on the last Philip DeFranco show, you can click or tap right there to watch that. Or if you want to see today's brand new behind the scenes vlog, you can click or tap right there to watch that. But that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.